Jubilee? Yes, we can. Look, here's an image from inside St Paul's Cathedral. Prince William gets the front row, Brother Harry in the second row on the other side of the church. And when Harry and Meghan left the church, they got booed. Hilary, the lady in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, she's a British Royals commentator and joins me now. This is an extraordinary situation, Hilary. It's a complete split between the brothers and a complete split within the royal family. I've never seen anything like it before. Have you?
Well, I have not, and neither have you, but you did nail it, Stuart. The last time I was back here, you had asked me, what did the royal family think about them coming back to the UK? And I did say within palace walls there was concerns about booing, and you actually said, well, if I was over there, I'd boo too. Yeah. So I think what you're seeing is a sentiment like you have, and you're over here, and you've been an American by choice for many years, and many of us have. However, remember, the British public, they paid for their wedding. Remember that. And the hypocrisy, I will tell you that when they were, during that interview with Oprah, when he said that he wished he'd have had chances to be on the back of a bicycle like he is with Archie, and he wished he'd had that, within 43 seconds, Stuart, I had photographs coming from relatives in England of photographs of him on the back of the bicycle with Prince Charles. So it's the hypocrisy, but it's also the taxpayers' money. Also, if you bash the Queen and you throw her under the proverbial royal bus, you should expect booing. She was,
the Queen, the royal family, must have invited Meghan and the Duchess of Sussex. They must have invited them, perhaps with a view to getting them together. I guess it just hasn't worked.
Well, actually, I think, no, Stuart, I beg to differ in a slight way. One should hold one's friends close and one's enemies closer. I think we all know that the Queen is wiser than she actually might even seem. And I think this was the right thing to do. I think she's a lady of forgiveness. One of the reasons that she has presided without confrontation and over such a degree of stability over these years, Stuart, is that she tries to rise above and take the high road. I think she's a perfect example to us all. Who hasn't, at some degree, hurt us in some way? And may we all be as forgiving. And I think this was the right thing to do. And quite frankly, I think they got what they deserved.
I'm entirely in agreement with you. One last one. At some point, it will be King Charles. We don't know when, but it will happen. Probably fairly, whatever. What's the public feeling in Britain about Prince Charles?
Well, firstly, Stuart, no one can speak to what the feeling is of the whole British public, so I shan't go there. What I shall do is to quote some of the polls for you. The Queen remains at over 80% popularity. Even those that aren't royalists, I mean, let's even take in Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon. She's the first Scottish minister, and she's not exactly pro-English, as we know. And she likes the Queen, respects the Queen, has had nothing but positive things to say about her. So ubiquitously, we can say that she's popular and admired. Prince Charles, however, does not enjoy an over an 80% approval rating. He only enjoys, according to the recent YouGov poll, about 47%. The nation, Stuart, is very split according to the polls. What we can't calculate, and no one can, is we all remember that sound outside Westminster Abbey, going back to your valid point about the booing. Remember, that sound, Stuart, outside Westminster Abbey, we didn't know what it was. We thought it might be rain on the roof. What was it? What was it? It was the clapping that started in Hyde Park when Charles Spencer, Princess Diana's brother, started talking about blood brother and how she'd been treated. Remember, that wave of that clapping came into Westminster Abbey. That was the public sentiment then, and that sea of flowers outside Kensington Palace. My question back to you, Stuart, is where has that sentiment gone? We don't know. We can't calculate. My answer is the nation is split.
Yes, and I think we're in agreement on that one too. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Hilary, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure you'll be back.
Pleasure.
It's a subject we like to talk about. Thanks, Hilary.